What's the salary increase you can expect in 2024? In this video, backed by data, let me try to give you some projections. Here we go. This is from the report by Aon. Now, Aon is one of the leading compensation consulting companies in the world and in India. And then every year they release this compensation benchmarking report where they have the projections for the next year. It's directionally always quite accurate because a lot of companies actually look at this report and form their projection data. If we look at this data, what Aon is saying is in 2024, the projections are going to be pretty much flat across what it was in 2023. On an average level at India, it was 9.4% was the increment percentage. So what that means is if you're drawing a salary of, let's say, 100, next year you'll be drawing a salary of 109.4. Now this is an average. It's different across different industries and we'll get into it. But what they're saying is it's going to be flat. If it was 9.4 this time, it's pretty much going to be 9.4 in 2024 also. Now, why is this so? We are all aware that the markets and the industries and the headwinds have been continued in 2023, right? It has not been that great. The markets haven't opened up. Expecting that 2024, because the increments that you get in 2024, mostly it's around March, is based on the 2023 business, 2023 industry. And because the way the market has been, it's very tough and very unlikely to expect that you'll get a crazy amount of hikes in 2024. We had seen that in 2022 because a lot of business had done really well in 2021 is like post COVID, so a lot of hikes were given, but it's very unlikely that this year you'll see a lot of green shoots happening. From a very tactical industry specific, if we are talking about technology and platforms, which is basically the startup world, is around expected 9.8 to around 10% hike, which is little bit broadly more than the average. But compared to last year was 10%. This year they're expecting 9.8%. If you're looking at fintech is again broadly everything is pretty much lower than what it was last time. The anomaly here is consumer tech, which is one of the largest industries in the startups, which is expected to give around 9.1%, and they were giving 9.5% last time. Cloud platforms expected at 10%, broadly everything around 10%. And now some companies may give you a little bit more, some companies may even give you a little bit less. E-commerce is expected to give around 10.7%, quite a bit more than the average, to be honest. And I think they're the only one who are actually giving, expected to give more, like was than last year. Last year it was 10.1. This year they're saying it's 10.7. Financial institutions also on an average level are giving 10.2%, which is slightly higher, quite a bit higher than the average. Out of this, NBFC, housing finance, microfinance are giving almost 12%, which is quite good. Also, you've got to keep in mind that these are averages. Some people will get much lower, some people will get much higher. Typically, the best performers actually get higher. People who've not done so well typically get lower, right? And there is a range in between. This data on your screen right now is basically telling you what does the 90th percentile mean. You are getting more than 90% of the audience, right? So if we deep dive a little bit on the numbers, let's start with startups, which is tech platform and products. The average is around 10%, but the 90th percentile is 13.2%. It might even go up to 14-15% depending on company discretions. On the lower side, it's 5%. The data that's been hidden, this is basically financial services, financial institutions. Their 90th percentile is going up to almost 15%, right? Which is quite good. The average is around 10%, right? So the dispersion between the 90th percentile and the median and the mean is quite high. This is financial institutions. You'll see retail is pretty much average and 90th percentile is almost the same. So retail is around 11%, while their average is a little on the high side, but the highest is the 90th percentile is only 11.5%. And media is expected to give around 9.3%, while the highest is around 10.5%. Tech consulting also remains at about 10%, but the median is around 12.8. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit a subscribe. It's really, really going to be helping me out. Thank you, and see you next time.